Hi everyone, I'm Jolene and welcome to Duffy and Penguin's YouTube channel. I'm the one behind Duffy and Penguin's Instagram account where I have been Instagramming about our flock of 4 peach-faced lovebirds, Duffy, Penguin, Bailey and Toffee over the last 3 years. So I decided to start a YouTube video to share with you guys the story behind our flock and how we got them. So here goes. Oh, Duffy came to join me. The first bird that we got in our flock is Duffy. Duffy is a female peach-faced lovebird and she is a pied. Come Duffy. Ah. So this is Duffy. So you can see she's a pied. So she is a mix of colors and she's the leader of the flock, as you can tell. So the story about how we got to adopt Duffy was 3 years ago. We were having an LDR, so my husband and I, we were not married yet and he was studying overseas. So I can still remember how that period of time was pretty difficult for us, and of course it was very lonely. So we just so happened to have friend in the bird community. She has 2 lovebirds of her own and she had 2 chicks that were Duffy and Cassie, and she was putting them up for adoption. So I remember the first time I met Duffy in real life was at a little bus stop where we met just for me to view Duffy and Cassie and decide which lovebird I would like to put a deposit on, because there was an adoption fee. And I remember I had my husband on Skype or FaceTime, just looking at me kind of handle the birds. And I kept asking him, I wasn't sure whether I should adopt Cassie or Duffy. And even my friend said that Cassie seems to be a bit more calm and sweet as compared to Duffy, who was more naughty. And my husband just said, like, you needed someone like Duffy, you needed someone to cheer you up and be your companion like her. So of course, in the end, I took Duffy and I collected her about 1 or 2 weeks later from my friend's place. So I still remember how she had those patches on her back, her spotted feet, and that black beak that was very typical of a young bird. And for the next 7 months that we were together, I'll bring her out without even thinking about, how I don't know, risky it could be. But I mean, through that experience, we bonded a lot. I trained her so much. We just spent days together, just the 2 of us, where I'll be training her, I'll be teaching her to eat fresh chop. And all of this, it was before we got Penguin. Penguin, about 7 months after Duffy was with me just alone, as another friend in the bird community contacted me to ask if I would like to adopt Penguin. So Penguin was a name that she said. So she made that name. We didn't change Duffy and Penguin's name actually. So I would like her to at least have a friend that she could be with. But of course, I know that it's not that easy for lovebirds to accept each other. So we decided to meet at a bird gathering. So we used to have bird gatherings almost every week. And I brought Duffy and she brought Penguin. And I remember how funny that day was, because Duffy was not in her most tip-top kind of a upkept condition, because she had a little hole in her cheek. So no, it was really funny. And the most amazing thing that happened was that when Duffy and Penguin saw each other for the first time, they were immediately attracted to each other. Like, Duffy, usually female lovebirds, they're not that accepting to meet new birds or be that close to them. But she was immediately into Penguin. Like, she would be preening him, and she would just be okay with standing beside him, and he would just enjoy her preens at that time. And not only that, he is the most sweet-tempered bird in our whole flock, even right now. He is so intelligent. He can do tricks that the rest of the birds they can't with very little effort. Like, for example, Penguin would like to play basketball, and And I don't even know how I managed to teach him that, but the rest of the birds just didn't get it, and until now they're still not really sure how to do it. Oh, this is Bailey. Bailey. So on 9th of February 2017, Bailey hatched. So actually Bailey was the second chick that hatched from two eggs that we let them hatch, and unfortunately her sibling passed away. So it was just the birds with Bailey, and that was the first time that I think any of us, even Duffy and Penguin, have seen a baby chick, and we all four were raising Bailey together. It was such an amazing and unforgettable experience, although it was very stressful as well, because Duffy and Penguin, being first time parents, they tried their best to take care of Bailey, but in the end Bailey got sick, and the vet suspected that it was because of a sour crop. So I mean, to sideline, sour crop happens when the parents feed, or I mean even humans, when they feed a baby chick without the previous feeding of food being digested, so they actually get of kind of rotten inside the crop. We were really waking up in the middle of the night. We couldn't have any air conditioning, so that was crazy hot at night without any ventilation or um, any air conditioning. And because the vet said that Bailey, there was a chance that she might not make it, she managed to pull through, so that was really amazing. um, she stayed in, I think we spent so much time, energy and money just to keep her alive and to take care of her when Duffy and Penguin couldn't. So that was a really unforgettably stressful but yet fulfilling experience. And then Bailey, she got well, and then she stayed with us. We the she followed the parents, she learned how to fly. And if you scroll down on Duffy and Penguin, you would see the chronicles of the pictures that I have shared of Bailey's growth, and that's probably quite interesting if you like to see that. And that happened when we were in Singapore. So we moved to London. So I moved later with the bird. So we flew to London, and right now we are here. And this is when we got our fourth bird, Toffee. So Toffee is from a breeder in the UK, and she breeds lovebirds. So we thought to get Bailey. We've always thought that probably it would be a good time to get Bailey a partner, like what happened with Duffy and Penguin. But unfortunately, right now that they can't stay together because Bailey has been quite aggressive to Toffee. So the Toffee is just, we have been making a lot of progress together. He's just a precious, but he's so in love with Bailey. He would just spend time with her. He would just go to her and he would just feed her, even though she's not that interested in him, unfortunately. And that's the most difficult part that we are dealing with right now, because as you probably see in the Instagram, that Bailey has injured Toffee about quite seriously last just a few weeks ago, where she pulled his leg and I think sprained his foot. But then she would also be chasing him and showing some forms of aggression. So we think that we are just working on Toffee all the time. We training him and getting him to trust us again, especially when he has lost that trust when we had to grab him to feed him medicine when he was sick or injured. So that's about the story of our flock. And they all have different personalities. Like Bailey, she is such a spoiled bird. She is so humanized because she has been practically hand raised by us and the bird hospital. And we were holding Bailey since day one. I think even when she was an egg, we were holding. So that's the story of our flock, and thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about lovebirds or anything like that about our flock, do leave a comment below and I'll try my best to answer you as soon as I can. In the meantime, do follow Duffy and Penguin on Instagram and subscribe to this channel so you can get more great content.